thing they do is give you like $2 off for your birthday.
Or a free birthday gift.
Yeah.
It's a scam.
All of it is.
Back to school time. And lucky for us, neither of us are still in school.
Woo!
And we don't have kids that are going to school. So
No, not yet.
we're in the clear. But both of us graduated high school. We both went to college. So now looking back that we're like semi-adults, I would say. Not really real
Kinda.
adults. What do you wish you learned in high school or college? Like there's so many life skills that I'm like, man,
Yeah.
they should have had a class on that.
I think one of them for sure is what to do with a retirement account, how to
Ooh.
invest, what type of retirement account. Luckily, I actually took a job a couple years after college, and I did work into in a retirement department. So I do know these things, but I talk to my friends, and they're like, I don't even know what a Roth IRA is. And I'm like, there's so much to tell you. I don't think we can even have coffee and talk about it. Like, this is something you almost have to take a class about.
Exactly. I also was pretty lucky at my first job that they had a rep come in and kind of explain 401ks and what does that even mean. Obviously, I had heard of it, but I didn't know how important it was even at 22 years old to get that started. So I
Yeah.
had wished that someone had told me how important it is. Luckily, again, I had someone who sat me down and they're like, listen, this is important, even though you're not even close to retirement.
Yeah.
You got to start it now.
Well, and the crazy thing is, too, when I worked in the retirement department, they were like, you should be starting right at like, it was either 16 or 18. And I'm like, well, great. I'm already behind.
Yeah.
Again, we should have maybe learned about this in school or college. Like maybe they should have offered a class like this. I don't know. Maybe at the time would I have taken it, though? Like, would I have thought it was stupid?
I could totally see myself being in high school being like, why would I need that?
Yeah.
I'm 15. I'm not thinking about retirement. I'll figure it out when I'm older. So I could totally see myself.
But in college, for sure, would have been nice because I would have started paying for my own things and I would have understood, like, how important that stuff is.
yes.
So I think learning about what everything it is about a retirement account is something so important for people to, like, take a class about.
Okay, staying on the financial stuff, I think it would have been really helpful, and luckily I never made this mistake, of knowing how serious getting a credit card is.
Yes.
I have seen firsthand back when I was in college, people opening up credit cards, just going on spring break because they're like, I have unlimited amount of money. Like, of course I'm going to go on spring break, or of course I'm going to buy a new outfit every weekend we go out. I think it would be so beneficial for someone to sit you down and be like, this is actually how a credit card works. The money is not coming from nowhere. You're going to have
No.
to pay it back and more
Yes.
someday.
Yeah, and I feel bad because I worked at a retail store, and they're always pushing, do you have our credit card?
Yes.
And I asked my friend if she had one, and she was like, no, but what is it? So she signed up, and that girl went to town with that thing. I felt bad. I'm like, is it my fault?
Yes.
How is it my It's your
No,
responsibility.
They get you because they're like, oh, do you want to save like 50% on your order today when you sign up for this credit card? And you're like, man, 50%. That sounds great.
And then they tell you it'd be like $50 off of your whole purchase. And you're like, well, that sounds like a good plan to me.
You got to stay strong because at least for me, if I had a store credit card to the places I shop, I would.
Well, and then they're always like, well, and get great benefits throughout the year. The only thing they do is give you like $2 off for your birthday.
or a free birthday gift.
Yeah.
It's a scam.
All of it is. Okay, so we both had to take like those kind of like preparing for you for adulthood kind of classes. Like you took the one where you had to take home a baby, and then maybe you took like a cooking class, and those were great. And the cooking class did teach me how to cook eggs, but that was pretty much about it, Taylor. And I think how to make homemade ice cream, but it didn't teach me how to make a meal at dinner. How to make a meal for one person. And
Yes.
especially one person who hates leftovers. Me. What do I do when I want to have spaghetti, but I hate leftovers?
I agree. That and like I see people that do like meal prepping, which I wish so badly. Not that I don't even know how, but I wouldn't even know where to start because it'd be
Same.
so nice to be like on the way out to work and just be able to grab a pre-made lunch. I don't know how to do that. I did take a foods class in high school, not because I wanted to know how to cook, but because I wanted to eat
That was
orange
exactly
sherbet at the end of the day and
Yeah.
do it for free.
The other thing though is meal prepping sounds great, but then I get into that part where I'm like, well, how long can this stuff last before it's bad?
True.
Like, how long can I have that meal in the fridge before I probably shouldn't have that meal anymore?
Along with that, do you still call your parents and say, because I am guilty of this, like, Mom, how long do I cook this chicken
Yes.
for? How do I know that the chicken is done?
You know what? I've gotten so bad that yes, I still call my parents, but I also say, hey, Alexa, what temperature is chicken fully cooked at? Because I don't remember.
No.
I have no idea. I never was taught this stuff, and I think it would have been very useful, especially in college, because all I ate was ramen.
Exactly. And I think you made a good point of, for one person, it's so
Yes.
hard. There's even like subscription services where they send you like meal kits and stuff, which are awesome, a little expensive, but they're meant for like 2 to 4 people.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, if you don't really like leftovers, it's going to waste. So why can't they make something like that or give you a class of like, these are meals that you could make for one person that are cost effective
Yes.
and are going to taste good.
Like, I want lasagna, but I know how much lasagna makes. So how do
Right.
I make lasagna for one person? I can't figure it out.
A mini lasagna.
It's in like a little cup. You
Tiny
just put it in the
lasagna.
microwave.
Okay, so getting out of college, especially in this past year, has been crazy in job hunting, which, I mean, getting out of college and looking for a job is already super intimidating because for me, I had friends, it always seems to be like business majors that you're halfway through your senior year and they already have a job landed and you're like,
Yeah.
I have nothing. Am I stupid? Like, what am I doing wrong that I don't have a job already? So I wish there was like how to fill out a job application to stand out and how to interview. Interviews are so terrifying to me.
Yes.
Like now actually with TikTok, there's all these hacks of like what questions when they're like, do you have any questions for me? And you're really like, no, do I have the job?
Yeah.
That's my only question.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would coach you through like how to be professional in an interview and how to take your food service like you worked at a restaurant and make that sound like you learned something from it on a resume.
Yeah. And I know how to fill out an application, right? Like, I know my social security number. I know my first name, my last name, my email, all the important stuff. I know that. But I hate doing a cover letter. I don't know what I'm supposed to put on a cover letter. What do you want me to do? Like, I've done it where I've just like had to go to Google and look at other people's and reword it somehow. But I don't know what you want. What is somebody looking on a cover letter for? Like, what are they looking at on there for? What do you need from
I
it?
don't
And I'm even going to take a step further back from even jobs. I wish we would have been taught on how to fill out scholarship applications and how important it is, because I did not fill out enough in high school, and that's because I didn't know where to go and I didn't know like how to do it.
I agree.
And I could have went to school for free if I would have known all that.
Yeah, I know at my high school, we had a school counselor, and if you kind of approached her and we're like, this is kind of what I'm thinking, this is where I want to go to school, this is my situation, they could find stuff for you. But, you know, high school counselors are in charge of, depending how big the school is, a couple hundred kids. Of course, they're not going to be able to give you all the opportunities,
Right.
but I wish I had the initiative
Yes.
to be
same.
like, this is what I want, and I want to get as much money given to me as possible.
Right, exactly. It's almost like you need somebody like to come down and be like, these are the things that you need to care about now to save your butt later.
Yes, exactly. But in my like college jobs, I always felt like I needed to lie almost like my dog died, I can't come in today. And they're like, just call in. We don't care. Like,
Yeah.
we don't need to know.
I feel like even like when I'm like calling in or like even when I want to take a vacation, like, hey, I'm gonna be in Florida. You want to see my tickets like to the plane? Like I
I
don't know
have
how
the
to-
proof. I have all the proof that you need.
I'm sure they don't care and they don't see it. But for me, in my head, when I call in sick or I ask for vacation, I'm like, I feel like I seem like I'm lying and I'm not. I'm being 100%.
I agree. You have that like guilt of like,
Yes.
do I need to like cough on the phone?
Yeah. Yes. I'm like, should I cough? Should I?
Do I need to like make
Or
my voice
sneeze?
scratchy? Yeah.
Like, I can't come into work today. Like,
it's like Mean Girls, like, I'm sick.
now that's obvious. That is fake.
But another one is how to quit a job.
Yes.
I had to do that, and it was like horrifying to me because I'm like, what if everybody hates me here? And it's like, for the longest time, I didn't know that you gave 2 weeks. Obviously, I know that now, but you know, when you're in high school and you quit a job, you probably just walk out or stop showing up.
Yeah.
But someone should teach you that's like not really the respectful thing to do.
Right.
I think that would actually, I mean, kind of sounds like you're preparing for the worst, but like if you are ready to leave a job and go to a different job, how do you go about that without ruining that relationship?
That's a good question. Like, when you do your 2 weeks, should it be written?
Right.
Because I've never wrote a letter out like, "Dear Joe Schmo, see you later." I've never
I'm out
done
in
that.
2 weeks.
I literally just go, "Peace, I'm leaving. You good?" No, I
Right.
don't do that. I just say, "Hey, like, I found another job." Like,
Right.
I start trying to like not cry because I get so freaked out about
so
it.
scary.
But I think you're right, because a lot of people, like and maybe it's our generation or our age, are so terrified on putting in the 2 weeks that they just up and quit
yes.
because they don't know how to do it. What is the right way to say, "I have found another job, I'm leaving"? But I think another thing is some people are afraid that the employer is going to be like, "Well, could you not leave?" Like,
Or actually, you're fired.
yeah, and that would stink too.
Class dismissed.
Boom! Guess who showed up late for class?
Both of us.
Sure did. But at least you had coffee in your hand.
Always.
I just rolled out of bed, as you can tell.